Hello, it's Deb here from Not a Rehearsal, and I'd like to share with you an excerpt of my book, Create Your Blockbuster Life, How to Step Out of the Wings into Your Spotlight. I'm sharing this particular extract because it also ties in with Endometriosis Awareness Week. I hope you enjoy it. Within 6 months of meeting and moving in with Alan, I was on a cancer fast track route after a routine visit to my GP had resulted in a scan which showed a growth on my ovary. Less than 3 hours after the scan, the GP had telephoned me at home and asked to see me in his surgery at 9 a.m. the following morning. I was terrified. Whilst not ruling cancer in or out, and referring to what had been spotted as a growth or a mass, which may or may not be benign, I was referred to the local gynecological oncology consultant. I was advised that the only solution was a total hysterectomy, which would mean the removal of my uterus, fallopian tubes, both ovaries and surrounding tissue, just to be on the safe side. Less than 2 months after my visit to the GP, I was on the operating table awaiting my fate. The surgery went well, and although I had to be converted to open surgery mid-procedure as the growth was too big to remove via keyhole surgery, I awoke sometime after incredibly groggy and unable to move. Alan was at my bedside looking relieved and stayed there for quite some while as I came around properly. I had given him and the nurses quite a shock when my blood pressure had dipped so low that I flatlined for a few seconds shortly after being transferred to the ward from the recovery room. I recall lying in my comatose state thinking, someone's in trouble. Their machine's making a racket, that's not good. When that someone was actually me, and it was my own monitor making a racket. I guess it was as close as I got to an out-of-body experience. It would be another week before I was told that the growth wasn't ovarian cancer as they'd suspected, but was in fact the worst case of endometriosis my consultant had ever seen in all her years of surgery. I'd had women's problems ever since my periods had started at the age of 12, and regular visits to the GP and subsequent hospital consultations and examinations had failed to diagnose the endometriosis that my consultant told me was the definite cause of my previous 7 miscarriages. She was actually surprised that I'd managed to have a child at all. That was the wake-up call I really needed to take my health seriously. My recuperation was long, painful and boring. If you enjoyed that and want to find out more about how you too can create your blockbuster life and step out of the wings into your spotlight, visit my website www.notarehearsal.co.uk. Books are available from the website or Amazon.